Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am going to prepare a video series on PySpark interview questions. This is part one of that series. In this particular video, I'm sharing with you one of the question that was asked to me in my interview, and a similar kind of question also that was asked to me in my interview, and I'm sharing with you the solution to solve that question. And so let's get started with this video. Let's see what was the question and how I solved it. And so let's understand the question first. So I was given two data frames. One data frame had historical records, so it's called hist data frame. It had columns ID, name, mobile number, and the records you can see is on the screen. The second data frame was new data frame. So it's the record that is coming newly. So you can see for Mohit ID1, there's an update in the mobile number, and there's a new record Rohit, which was not there in the historical data frame. Now the interviewer asked me to combine these two data frames such that if there is an update in the existing record, I need to get the updated record. So if you can see, I in the combined data frame, he wanted Mohit's new mobile number plus the new record which is coming in, that is the Rohit uh, mobile number, and plus the existing Akash and Sanjay is also coming. So this was the expected output that he wanted. So let's now see what how we can achieve this, or how we can approach this question. There may be more ways to solve this question. I have here identified two ways. I'll show you both the approach. So let's create first the data frame definition. I have created the data and the schema for historical data frame, and plus the new data frame. So let's run this cell. So my first approach is using an window function. If you know about window function, then you can easily solve this. If you don't know, then please pause this video here and understand what are the window functions which are used in PySpark and SQL also. There are more or less similar. Uh, you can see rank, row number, dense rank. There are others, lag, lead. So just read about them. And this is one of the topic which will be asked in every interviews. So I didn't see any of my interview which did not have a question related to window function. So it's a common thing. So you may be asked to explain them, or you may be given a question around it to solve. So that's why just read about them and try to solve as many questions on your own using these functions. Let's jump to the solution now for this one. So this my data frame is created now. You can see it is created. One more thing, if you are like if you want to use bricks for practice purpose, you have not done it before, it's very easy. Go to the Databricks site, create a community login. You don't have to use the cloud yeah, versions, as it would be not free of cost. Community login is free of cost, so just create an account in that and start using it. It's very simple and very easy. Let's solve this question using window function. So before jumping to the solution, let's first all the functions that we need to import. PySpark, spark.sql.functions, functions, and import star. Then we need to import the PySpark function as well. It's in SQL dot window, window and input window. Okay, we're done with this. Yeah, so first we need to combine both the data frames. Now, before combining, we need to create a column in each of the data frame. Like in both the data frames, we need a common column which would identify from which column the data belongs. So we have hist df equals to, let's use the hist df to create a new column. That column we would name this as source because we want to identify what is the source of the data. And let's put a static value to this, say old, because it's an old data. Okay, now we have new df, the other one. We will use the same thing, new df column source, and let's give it value new. Okay, so let's see what is the output of these two data frames. So like after putting these two new column, how the data frame looks like. Let's run this. So if you see, the new data frame has a new column source. Same, both historical and new has a new column source. Historical has value old and new one has value new. Okay, so now what is the next step that we want to achieve? So the next thing that we want to combine both of them. Now let's create a combined data frame, and df dot adjoin. We would use union because we want the data from combined data from both the data frames. We don't want to join and see if both the data frames has this data or not. No, we want a combined data frame. So we would union both the data in, and let's see the output as well. Dot show. Yeah, it's running. See, so it has been combined now. Mohit from old data is also coming. Mohit from new data is coming, and both two old records and one new records. Now, what is our goal? Our goal is to get the new records that are coming in. If there is an update in the existing record, then update that value, and rest everything remains same. Whatever there is there in the historical data frame, we want that. Plus, if there is an update of the existing record from the historical data frame, we want to update it. And if there is any new record coming in, then we want to insert that. So this thing that we are doing, it's called an upsert, because we are updating the old record and we are inserting new records. So it's very common in organizations where we have to do this with the data. We have existing data. If there is any update in existing columns for existing data, we need to update that value. Same, that could be the phone number update, address update. So this is required to be done in real world scenarios as well. And how we are doing it using window function, let's first understand that. So what we are doing, we will create through window function, we will create row number, and we will create row number based on ascending of source. So ascending of source means, if for a record, say suppose for id 1 Mohit, there are two records, then how the row number will be assigned? We will assign Mohit row number 1 for new record, and existing record would be 2. And we will do a filter here for only row number 1. So what will happen with existing records, the old one? These will have row number 1 only. because there are no source new, so there are no two records for them. These will have row number as 1 1. Mohit will have, for new one it will have 1, for Mohit old source it will have 2, and Rohit will be 1 only. So did you understand the logic that we are going to build? If not, then stay with me. We'll solve it and we'll see how the output looks like. So, okay, so we have combined both the data frame. Now we will use this combined data frame to create our new final data frame. Okay, so but before combining the data frame, we want to use the window function here. So let's create a window specification here, window spec, and what we will use this window function dot, and we will do a partition by on the basis of, you can use this column whichever is unique, and plus you can for this particular example we can use id and name both, but generally we prefer to use id in real world scenarios because those are unique for a customer. So we will do a partition by of id, plus we want to use order by here. What we are going to do, order by, uh, order by of source. This column we are going to do an order by, and here I am doing an ascending because I want to put new source as one. If there is two record for a particular source, for both the sources, suppose for new there is record, same record is there, and for old also. So I want to here uh, give preference or give number 1 to new. So that's why I am doing order by source, because n is smaller. That's why I'm doing order by source in ascending order, and by default order by has ascending. And so let me use combined df, and I want to create a row number column on which I will use to further filter the data. With column, let's create a row number column, and what its value would look like, row number. This function I'll be using row number, and what we are going to use here, we are going to use that window specification that we have created. Window, you can over, and we would pass here the window specification that we have created. Okay, and let's first see how the data looks like with this new column rn. I have created row number which by using this window specification. Okay, so let's run this and see how our column looks like, this new column. See, now I have in Mohit, I have row number 1 and 2, rest are 1, and I don't want the number 2 here. I want only the records which has row number 1. So what I do, I would apply a filter here. Okay, dot filter, okay, dot filter, and what I would filter, row number. So how can you apply rn equal to 1, rn equal to 1. So this I need, and let's run this and see how the data looks like. Okay, so indentation. See, I have filtered out the rn. Now in my final data frame, I don't want this column to be visible. So I would just drop this, dot drop this rn column. Let's do that. See, so And let's drop this as well because I don't want my source in my final data frame. Final data frame, the expected output was only these three: ID, name, and mobile number. So I am just dropping both the columns and see exactly the output that is needed is coming in. So this is how we can solve this using window function. If you have any doubt, then please drop comments on the video. I'll be answering them. And you can also read about this on the internet. There are lots of sites where you can get an understanding of this question. You can also use ChatGPT to get more clarification on this solution. So let's now see the second approach to the solution. So I have created this same schema and same data here, and let's run this. So in the second solution, we can use full outer join and do a coalesce to get our desired output. So how we can achieve it? So let's see. I will create first a join data frame using both the data frames or given data frames, hist data frame and new data frame. So let's hist data frame dot join, and let's pass new df here. Okay, and what would be the joining condition here? Hist df dot id. I'm joining it on the basis of id, and I said I'll be doing a full outer join. Full outer join. Okay. Okay, and let me just show you the output, how this joint DF will look like. Because we are going to apply collage on these columns here, columns from both of these data frames, historical and new data frames. I just want to show you how the output would look like. And okay, so here let me explain what collage does. Collage is a method which helps us to pass a value if there is any null value in the existing column. Say suppose we have a null value in the id for from this data frame, and we can overlap this null value by some values from another data frame. So this is the basic work of collage, and we are going to use this functionality to get our desired output. So what we are going to do, we are going to extract in the first part of the collage. So how collage does, so how this collage works. So this is collage. Okay, we first pass uh, the default values that you want. Say like I want the values from this data frame, from new data frame. From new data frame, I in the id column, I want all the data frames. But if there is any null value in this column, in id column from this new data frame, then what are you going to pass? We are going to pass the id column from my historical data frame. So if there is null in this, then we are going to pass this value. So this is how collage works, and we are going to use this in our approach here. So let's create this, and let's okay, we have joined the data frames. Now what we are going to do, we are going to select the columns that we need by applying collage. So coalesc. Okay, first let me import this collage here because we need to import it from dot functions import import. And now I'm going to use this collage function. So let's first use it for our first column id. So how it can be applied? Collage. Now from his new df. If I have a value in new df id, I'll get that value. If there is no id present, if there's a null present in that, then I'll get that id from my his data frame. So this is it, as simple as that. And this is it. And let me apply a name. Let me apply a name to this. Apply as id. Okay. Same thing I'm going to create for my other two columns. It will be similar. So let me do it quickly. I have not taken correct df here. Okay. His df id dot name alias. Let me give it name. Similarly, I need to do it for my last column. Last column is mobile number. Mobile number. Okay. So this I have joined the data frame. Let me rename this final df. Okay. So my final df, I'm doing what? I'm first joining both the data frames. Then uh, I'm selecting the columns that I need. And while selecting, what I'm doing, I'm doing a collace on both the uh, from both the data frames. I'm taking it from my in my new data frames id, that is null. I'm going to use the id from his df. Similarly, for same for others as well. And let's run this. Okay, so there is some error. It's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm doing a select multiple times. That's the error. So I'll just apply this. Okay. So now let's run this. Hope I have not done mistakes. Okay, this is running fine. So let me just show you the output of my final df quickly. Okay. So let's see the output. See, now we have achieved what we wanted. We have exactly same result. You can see it here. Same. Okay, so I showed you both the approaches, and for you like to try out, I have created a question here. So it is a similar kind of question. The logic that you need to apply is similar way. You should try both the approaches. What is given, you are given with an employee data frame. So this question was also asked to me in another interview. So I was given an employee data frame. So it had employee id, name, city, and salary. And another data frame which is has an incremental data. So it also has the same columns, but the data is incremental here. What is needed? If there is any new record like this, Jesse has a new record in the final expected output, you need this data. Plus, if there is an existing record like Peter, here is also Peter there, and Peter is here also. But if you see, the salary is different for both this data. Just update the salary from the incremental data. It's exactly similar, but just data is different here. So you can see the expected output is this one. I will be sharing with you the link to this my Databricks notebook. You can go through the question properly in that notebook, and then run that on your own environment. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video helps you to understand window function and solve this question if it is going to be asked in your one of the interview. and subscribe to my channel because I am going to prepare more such kind of videos related to real world interview questions. Thank you for watching. Bye.